Welcome to the Professional Sports Show with your host, Brian B. Strillahart, James J. Train Martin, Keith Engel, Bo Crouch, and Michael Tipton.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Professional Sports Show, where in 5 minutes or the last 5 minutes, the show can go awry. And let me introduce my cohorts here. We have Keith Engel from TGI Sports Talk, James J. Train Martin, and Bo Crouch. And I am Brian BS Arndt. I'm going to be going by BS today because that's basically what I want to do today. We're going to jump right into some stuff because there's a lot of stuff going on this week. Well, has been going on this week. First of all, Major League Baseball. I've got two big things that happened this week. Outfielder Roman Anthony and the Boston Red Sox have agreed to an 8-year, $130 million extension. He will be under team control until 2034. What do you guys think about that? That's pretty good for him.
A lot of teams are starting to take this approach of locking up younger guys for less money, longer terms. And I'm all for it. I'm not really, again, as we talked about with some of the football players, holding out, giving them options to opt out after 2 years when it's obsolete. But it's a gamble. I mean, Jack Hirsch and I talked about Anthony Volpe last year where he thought they should lock him up. Well, maybe it wouldn't have been such a good idea based on what's going on now. So it's a gamble for the teams, but when you hit it right, Padres did it with Fernando Tatis, if you remember. And some other teams have done it too. I think this is a good move for the Red Sox, and I think it's a good player or a good move for the players to get this stuff out of their way when they're young as well. But don't be looking for opt-outs every 2 years and whatnot.
Right, like the NIL.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the former number one prospect, though, right? I mean,
yeah.
And he's got 100. I mean, is that really good value? You think for the 8 years? 130.
Well,
I mean, for the
Red
team
Sox.
more so, but not for the player, right?
Yeah, for the team, it's fine. Yeah, for the player, not so much.
If he hit, well, you know what? It's long-term security. And my argument is always you can have one or the other. You can have long-term security because that is, again, that's life-changing money when you're talking about $130 million, right? But you can't.
I will say there are escalators. I mean, it can go up to 232.
Yes, it can go up. But
okay.
Yes, still, that's a bargain.
You
It's a bargain.
You don't find $100 million in your couch, like what?
Well, not since.
Yeah, I have kids. That isn't happening.
I have
kids, so that really isn't happening.
I have ex-wives. So.
They live in Texas.
So you need to find $100 million in the couch. I got you.
Yeah.
Right. Another landmark for Major League Baseball. They're calling up the first female umpire, Jen Powell, for the Marlins Braves series this weekend. That'll be interesting. They picked the worst series to probably umpire in, but that's okay.
Well, you know what? They can't do any worse than the guys are doing this year for the most part. I usually back the umpires in these conversations, but the men have been so bad this year. At least some of them. And again, the guys who are really bad make it really bad for the guys who are not. But I'm glad they're giving her a shot. I like to see this.
Yeah.
There's no reason we can't
do it in basketball, and they do it in NFL. So why not?
Of course, you're on board, Keith. You have ex-wives. They never missed anything. They're going to be 100% calls.
100%. My current one doesn't think either, including this show, so I'm probably already in trouble. So.
Okay, on that note, we're definitely.
Hey, since we're talking about that, you want a video of some of the top 10 worst calls in the MLB before the All-Star break?
Oh,
Why the
shit.
hell not?
It oddly enough, I had already put that together because as much
Oddly
as I
enough.
was against the robo ump idea,
Well,
they've sure been trying to make it a thing.
I'm the same way as you, Bo. I do not want row umpires, but these guys are making it very hard to back my argument. So
It is rough. There we go. And these are punch out calls. So this isn't even like, oh, it was a random strike. Like these are punch out calls. And then you can just hit play.
Okay,
There's
gotcha.
no real prep needed.
Square foot roof. Wow, he goes a foot off of the plate, 240,000 feet off of the plate, breaks. As he tracks low, ooh, that was called a strike, and that was ball 4. At Cardinals and the Athletics. There's strike 3.
That was
And it's a
hellacious.
strike zone for Bill Miller.
Egregious.
Again, can't come
Yeah.
Okay. Different look.
Another one.
Oh, my. Like, come on now. Alfonso, you don't want to be the worst of the year.
yeah.
That's the bottom of the zone for strike 3.
This is the bottom of the bottom.
Got strike 3 called on a high one. Jackson turns
Like
back
these aren't
and
even
it's
good
right
framing.
at it.
Like these are just
Right.
bad.
Yep. Strike 3 called.
He knew it was a walk.
Couldn't
Oh,
believe
yeah.
it as that-
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
What?
happened
Should have reset with a
Scott
flagpole.
Barrett, that was nowhere near the strike zone.
The number one, you're going to be like, what is happening? I mean, these are so far. Even the catcher thought that was a ball.
Strike 3. That was way outside. Oh, a called
This
strike.
dude is set up
He didn't-
outside.
And the catcher didn't even bother to frame it. He
No,
just-
like his whole body is outside, and he catches
What
it
is it?
center mass, and bam, punch out, and you're like, I don't understand what's happening right now. And that is all from this year before the All-Star break.
Angel Hernandez is going to be home waiting for his phone to ring because these guys are worse.
I mean, it felt like I was in an episode of Naked Gun. Frank Drebin was calling strikes.
And the one I didn't include because it wasn't. It was egregious the other way. I wanted to, but it just didn't fit with the other clips. There was one straight down the middle, like it was middle. Like you couldn't have got it any more centered in the box. Ball.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those too. Yeah.
Uh,
Don't understand.
Dude, really? What's going on? Speaking of females in the major leagues, or speaking of females in general, in the WNBA, and this is where we're going to turn left here. Another sex toy was thrown in a WNBA game between the Fever and the Sparks on Tuesday night. Said toy landed by Sophia Cunningham, who was in the lane at the time, and she was the one that said, "Hey, we got to get those toys about. Don't throw them on the court. That's dangerous for the players."
Yeah.
Obviously, you throw it in the lane. What's there? Basketball players. I thought the funny thing though was that Kelsey Plume, a teammate, kicked the toy into the stands. I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. Kick
That's
it to a
kinda great.
kid, you know. But this
Right. The thing is-
I don't know if this is becoming a thing. I don't know what's going on here.
It is. In fact, because they've all been this like highlighter green, they apparently those have like sold out or something. So there's been a run on dildos. So there you go. Welcome to the sports show. That's a sport of its own, I guess.
What toy? Now that it's out, but thanks, Bo. We know exactly what it is
we
specifically.
should say that instead of a sex toy. I think all the stories should say exactly what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just explains the people that are throwing it. Like the first guy that did it, it makes sense because he thought it was funny. You don't really know what the ramifications are. The subsequent ones, like these people are doing it knowing they're going to get arrested. Right. And then it's a year ban, which doesn't matter because there's only 8 home games left for any given team anyway. So that doesn't really make any difference. But you're going to get fines and you're going to get arrested. So when you get an interview and they're like, have you been convicted of any? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, what was it? Well, I threw a dildo on a basketball court.
The guy, I was confused.
Well,
The guy in Atlanta got arrested, and they charged him. And one of the charges was like indecent exposure. So what else did he do besides throw a toy? That's what I want to know. I don't understand that part of the charge. Public indecency and indecent exposure is part of his the charges against him. And I guess like,
can you get indecent exposure for inanimate objects? Like I don't.
Yeah, he didn't expose part of his own anatomy that I'm aware of.
So, guys, now this reminds me of another movie from the 80s. Was it Revenge of the Nerds, where LeVar throws the floppy javelin?
Yes.
Unfortunately, these don't return to you.
In all seriousness, I think we talked about this maybe Sunday. I don't know, but and I've talked about this for a long time. That fans, when you purchase a ticket to a game, it does not give you the right to do whatever you want to do. You can't hurl sex toys on the field or court. You can't throw food at people. You can't spit at people. You can't hurl racial epithets at them or their family. You don't get to do whatever you want to do. And it's part of the changes in society. We don't have a social contract anymore just to be polite to everybody else. We flip people off at traffic lights, and we do everything else. And this is just indicative of the way we treat each other every day in life, in my mind, too often.
I mean, you're free to do whatever you want. You're just free to also get the consequences.
Well, you might get arrested. Yeah.
I don't worry too much about the middle finger at a stoplight. You probably cut me off for driving slow or something.
You mean it's not okay to throw floppy javelins onto the court?
Probably not.
No. Buffalo will tell you that too.
The first time it was done, you're like, okay, they probably didn't think about getting arrested or whatever. They thought it was going to be funny. But like the second and third guy, when you're there, just like, I'm going to do this, knowing you're probably going to get arrested. Like that, there's zero things I find funny enough to get myself arrested for it.
Right.
What I think is funny is that every one of these sex toys are green. So somebody's actually trying really hard to go out there and get the same color and the same one. I'm like, okay, what is this? The Incredible Hulk one or something? Is that under that one? I don't understand.
That's why
there are too many puns in this segment.
Yeah,
they're trying really hard.
Yes,
speed it up. And there were two other instances last night, weren't there as well? I think in New York they had one, and somewhere else.
So there's three total now.
Yeah.
There's three total.
Four. I think four, isn't there?
Oh, is there a fourth one now?
Only Atlanta. I thought I saw in Phoenix. Where was this? The one we're talking about? Where was this one? That was in
L.A. I think.
L.A. and I think
Fever and the Sparks. Yeah.
Phoenix and New York. I think it happened Tuesday night as well.
Huh. I didn't see that.
But they have all purchased the same color, which is why I said
all green. Yeah.
There's been a run on that specific one. It sounds like they're sold out, which is hilarious. Because there's only been 4. So that means the rest of these people are using them for the intended purpose. Is all I can figure.
Use your choice.
That's where that ends.
This is not a public service announcement. Use your sex toys responsibly.
Maybe we can get sponsored by fluorescent green.
Hey,
It's Margaritaville somewhere.
It is.
ESPN, we're going to go to football now. ESPN is acquiring NFL Network and Red Zone rights in a deal giving NFL a stake in the network. The deal will have to get approved from the NFL owners, of course. And a couple other things got to go through, too, as far as approval is concerned. How do you think this shapes the streaming, or how do you think this is going to shape the streaming system?
There's a couple things about it. So they purchase Red Zone and NFL Network essentially, right? And it's a deal somewhere between $1 and $2 billion, right?
Yep.
The lesser known piece of that is the NFL gets a 10% stake in ESPN.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that makes all the sense in the world if you're NFL, right? Now you have a vested interest in allowing ESPN to flourish with your product. That being said, because it's Disney and ESPN, Red Zone is about to get ruined, right? Something that we've all liked and enjoyed for years. They're going to wreck it because that's what they do. In fact, somehow it won't be this coming year. They won't totally mess it up this first year, but within the next 2 to 3 years, there's going to be a random day where it's Stephen A. And you're just to be like, come on, man.
Oh, no, not on Red Zone. I don't want to see that on Red Zone. Oh, no.
You know what's going to happen.
If they don't mess that product up, they have a great opportunity too, because they bought the name Red Zone, right? They can use it in college football on Saturdays. They can use it for other sports.
Smart.
They haven't been able to do this before, and that's very smart. But to Bo's point, ESPN bastardizes everything that they touch, it seems. So,
well, the red print. Oh, I hate to say red print, but I read the article on it. It looks like they're going to try to keep it intact. Like Bo said, they're probably going to change it a couple of years down the road. But supposedly they're supposed to keep it the way it is and allow it to be distributed still through the NFL Network and not change from that perspective. Like with people who are actually purchasing, and say for instance myself, I get NFL Plus and it comes with Red Zone, so you'll still be able to purchase that and still be able to get the NFL Red Zone through that particular venue. But
it's going to be it's going to be produced by ESPN, so whatever changes are going to affect you everywhere. This has been a staple to you guys. As you guys said, when I'm not watching the Patriots or I'm not out watching football with my friends, I'm watching the Red Zone because it's the best way to watch it. And Scott Hansen has been I got his name right, I think.
Great. Yeah, Scott Hansen, you're correct.
Since the beginning, 18 or how many years? 18?
Well, he wasn't the first one. The guy with the big ears was the one that was on there first.
Oh, I thought he was the original.
The satellite dish ear guy. Yeah. They had to get him. They had to get him off there because nobody was paying attention to Red Zone. They were looking at his ears.
They didn't get him off. He just flew away.
Scott Hansen has absolutely killed it. Anybody that's coming after him is gonna pale in comparison.
100%.
But they're gonna randomly force a Stephen A. type guy in there, even if it's just a special edition.
Yeah.
They're going to make it happen because it's ESPN and they have the couple of anchors that they like and they force them into literally every platform possible.
And commercial TV, don't forget either. There's no commercials on the Red Zone that I'm aware of. Is there?
Yeah, they started it last year.
I thought the beginning and the end we had them.
No, they did. They started it last year.
Oh, okay.
I must not have watched this.
Remember. Maybe it's because I wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
Well, it was if I recall, it was like a side-by-side kind of thing.
Yeah. Now I remember. Yeah, now I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I guess I haven't seen those pop up. Yes.
So it'll be, in theory, it'll be that again. So, but at least the stuff's still on the screen.
Yeah, I can live with that, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Long since the days of being able to watch football on CBS or NBC, things are going to change. Everything's going to go to pay. It's going to be different. I mean, the Super Bowl is going to ESPN, right?
You can still see it on NBC. It just they just call it Peacock now, and you got to pay for it.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yes, I mean this is just different. I'm not saying not to pay for anything, but I mean I get it because they're paying these guys exorbitant amounts of money. They got to pay them some kind of way.
Well, we're already paying, unless you got a digital antenna where you're getting CBS, ABC, Fox, and not paying anything. You're paying, your cable bill's paying as well. Anytime the rights go up, so does your cable bill. So I had this argument with some people on my shows, and they think, I'm watching everything for free. And I said, well, what do you have? I have DirecTV. I said, well, don't you pay for that? I mean, you're right. And if the NFL rights or MLB rights go up, so do the fees for your cable or whatever streaming service you have. So
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is free for them. They just tapped into their neighbor's cable, and
they could be in mine. I get the shitty reception I get sometimes. Got all these ghosts on my TV. That guy's stealing it next door.
In other NFL news, the Chargers and Keenan Allen agreed to a 1-year, $8.5 million contract. He's going to reunite with them. That should bolster their wide receiver room, so that'll be good for them. Running back Kyren Williams and the Rams have agreed to a 3-year, $33 million extension, $23 million guaranteed. I think that's a very good deal too. That's a very underrated running back, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And the Rams are getting the better of that deal, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, I hope he's able to. I hope there's some escalators where he can get a little more money out of that deal.
Teddy Bridgewater comes out of retirement and signs with Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I
actually like that.
This is a bit controversial on our show
because they got no backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, and I mean, and he's still serviceable. He was suspended from the high school ranks anyway, so he's got some free time. I don't hate that pickup for them.
Yeah,
suspended as a championship coach. How does that
for doing
nothing really.
Good for the kids. It's really nothing.
Yeah, I mean, they basically said that he gave them a competitive advantage, which in a way I guess he did by the letter of the law. But I mean, he was paying for Ubers and got them food and whatever. I mean, like it's not like he was, we just bought this school a giant gym now, or it's not like it was competitive advantage in a real way, but by the letter of the law, it was. And so, that was other teams that made that happen, right? Like that wasn't anybody else than a jealous other team that's like, we have a way to get him out.
Yeah. And they put pressure on that school. That's what they did. It was a big board, and they put pressure on it. Say, you're going to do this, or we're going to do this. So, that sucks for him. But I'm glad that he's got picked up by the Buccaneers. He's a good backup. He should be valuable for Tampa Bay. The NFL
too.
I got one for you because it's just entertaining. So the Bengals go and grab Noah Fant, right? Ex-Seahawk.
Yeah.
Fantastic receiving tight end, right? Granted, they had a tight end, so now they have another receiving tight end. They didn't have a lot of money, but it didn't require a lot of money to go get him. But man, does it highlight the fact that they just do not care about defense. They're like, you know what? We have a little bit of money. You know what? We need more offense.
Which is true, because they're going to need more offense to stay in games.
I think they're committed to the fact that they have got to you have to outscore your opponent to win anyway. But they know they have to score a gazillion points to do that pretty much every week. So you might as well
it also slaps Trey Hendrickson in the face a little more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
getting carried away.
Bengals are just a train wreck, but I'm here for it.
Yep.
Keep that thing.
We all are. Crash into that wall.
Oh, yeah.
The NFL suspends Jordan Addison for 3 games over the DUI case.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, he got his – people figured that was going to happen. They just, they didn't know how many games he would get suspended for. But, yep. So they're out a big-time receiver for 3 games. That not helped them very much, especially J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, especially when you got a quarterback for sure, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Browns, again, Bo mentioned that Tyler Huntley signed to the Browns. That makes like 200 quarterbacks they have now.
Mediocre quarterbacks. You forgot the word mediocre in that.
Yes, mediocre quarterback.
Hey.
And Shadur Sanders is to start preseason game 1 for the Browns.
Yeah, of course.
And he's supposed to play a majority of it. They're keeping him in there for a while. They said he might
an
play
opportunity for him.
Yeah.
He's got to really take advantage of it, and I think he's going to. And I'm pretty sure they're going to play against like 2s and 3s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the majority of players.
Isn't that the downside, though, too, James, is that you face these guys who are not, top caliber NFL players, and you look good, and people are going to be calling for him to play more and more and more, and we don't know still whether he's going to be any good. And I still think he'll be a good player. Don't get me wrong. But I think it gives you a false sense of who he is or what he is.
I think there's something happened either this week or last week. He got the opportunity with a second team offense to play against first team defense, and he lit them up.
Yeah,
and that's what.
Well, that'll be fine.
I think. Yeah.
Listen, I saw this last year. I saw this last year in the Patriots camp when Joe Milton was playing lights out, was out playing Drake, and idiot fans. Sorry, if you're thinking that Joe Milton should play over Drake May, you're just a nut. And people were calling for that. Even Joe Milton got it in his head, and that's why he's not in that locker room anymore. So, anyway, it can be bad too.
Well, the thing is that's not really why Shedor's getting this shot, though.
No,
Gabriel pulled his hamstring.
Yeah.
So you have two quarterbacks with pulled hamstrings. Of course he's going to get the start because they're not going to play Flacco, and you're obviously not going to start Huntley. You signed him yesterday. So, I mean, the only guy that's going to be available by this weekend is Shedeur anyway. Of course he's going to play almost all of it. He's the only guy available.
But now he has the opportunity to take advantage of the opportunity that's been given.
Exactly.
Afforded.
No. He absolutely has that. And I hope he does because it makes the situation there even funnier from the outside. Because if he goes in and balls out, now they have a real problem because they have every quarterback available on their roster. And you only got 3 weeks to figure that out.
Yeah, and even though he was playing with the twos, he's still listed as fourth quarterback on a roster. So
you're going to see
this whole thing is strange. Cleveland is just like Cincinnati.
If he balls out, you're going to see the face that Eddie Murphy said that Johnny Carson had when he lost half his money to his wife.
Well, no, but
I want him to ball out.
I want him to ball out because then they have such a weird situation because they're like, okay, we just watched this guy do really well, but we drafted Gabriel higher. We gave up a third for Pickett. We're not getting rid of Flacco. We, as a bonus, went and got Huntley for no reason. Yeah, like that just becomes a really hilarious, really Browns kind of scenario.
Isn't it still within the realm of possibility, though? With even playing against twos and threes, he feels this pressure and he just like throws 4 interceptions and 2 pick sixes and really just falls on his face. It could happen. I mean,
it could happen. I don't see it happening, but it could happen. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it can definitely happen because the difference in these games is he's going to get hit. That's something they don't really do in practice. Certainly not in camp, right? Camp, half the time, there's not even a pass rush. I always laugh when you hear about, they looked so good in camp. It's like, I would hope so. No one's rushing. You're not playing real defense. It's basically one-on-one out, on the outside. I would hope the offense can complete a pass against one-on-one when you know where you're going and they don't, and there's no pass rush. You better look good. That's like when people are like, the pro day was awesome. You choreographed that for 3 weeks with dudes you like and no defense. You better complete those throws.
That's also why you see crappy football till you get to October, because September football stinks because they don't play any real football until the first game.
Yeah, there are teams that are playing some starters this weekend too, so that'll be good for those teams. It won't be the Lions. It'd be nice if they played starters in one of their weeks. Jesus, so it's what.
Are they going to set?
I love the regime. I love the regime, but I just hate the fact that they're walking on pins and needles with these injuries. It's like, okay, it's football. It's going to happen sooner or later. Just, suck it up.
I like the stance from Dan Campbell here, though, because he acknowledged the fact that there were mistakes, right? I mean, it was terrible. If you were a Lions fan, that game was horrible. But so his response to the lack of ball security here, I sent you the video of it. It's from his press conference.
Gotcha.
Concern's not the right word. It's just more, look, we have our own standards, and it doesn't matter if you just walked in the door or, you've only practiced, you've had 10 practices, it's just, look, we got to take care of the football, and it doesn't matter. You're wearing Lions gear, you got to take care of the ball, man, or it's going to be hard to keep you around, and so it's a hard lesson to be learned out here like that, but it's also we got to put a little pressure, got to apply a little pressure in a good way, so we get better, man. We got to put some urgency on this. It is early, but it's never too early to get better, right?
So
wouldn't you get better playing games and getting a hit though in the preseason? Wouldn't you actually get better at that? I don't know.
One of the turnovers came because they had a linebacker returning a kick.
yes.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
That
It
was
was-
insane.
Yeah.
It was
All
pretty rough.
these
But
guys you got as rookies and that are receivers and cornerbacks, but you're going to have a linebacker return a kick. I don't care if he's fast or not. He has nothing to do. He don't know what it's. He might know how to defend on a special teams play, but he isn't one that take the ball back and score. Hell no. And I was like, when he fumbled,
linebackers are always known for their great hands.
yeah, okay. Yeah, it was really bad. That game was really bad for the Lions as far as like Kyle Allen. And we've made this point time and time again on many shows. This dude is not a very good quarterback. And I don't like to call any NFL player trash because they're in the NFL. But he's close to that. And when you're basically you're a journeyman and you're a veteran, he's like a 6 to 8 year veteran. Dude threw an intercept. I mean, I think the cornerback and him were on the same page because he wasn't on the same page with his wide receiver. I was like, dude, you do it right to him. It's like, hey, here you go, have it. And Hooker didn't look any better, and they only let him throw 6 times. So this is the reason why I want to watch the Cleveland game too, because hey. There's some quarterbacks in that little mix. Hey, they could be a backup.
Yeah.
I mean, we have no problem with our number one quarterback like the rest of our division does, but I like to have a solid backup. It help us.
Well, especially if Goff gets hurt. I mean, you want somebody that can complete a pass to your team. Let me throw that caveat in there.
But like all NFL teams, if you have to play your backup any amount of time, your season's probably over anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want a guy who can fill in for a game or two, or a half or whatever. But if you've lost your quarterback for the season, you're most likely your season's over for most of these teams because nobody's got.
Mr. Spoiled fan, most of your life. Then when the backup came in, it became the greatest ever.
I had to deal with Matt Castle for an entire season, and they won 11 games in the playoffs.
They won 11 games. They still didn't go to the playoffs, but still they won 11 games.
They won 11 games.
To be fair, though, he did have to endure.
He didn't go to playoffs.
He did have to endure the 20 years of terrible football there, though.
But they would
forget Matt Cass. I mean, let's talk about Drew Bledsoe. I'm saying, and you had Tom Brady came in and all she wrote.
Yeah,
sometimes
but
sometimes it turns out.
Look at this.
Before that, they were bad though.
Now he wants to
just wants to come and shoot at us from outside the arena.
What's up, Tip? What's up, Tip?
What up, Tip?
Floppy javelins are up.
Too bad it didn't show up when we were talking about dildos on the floor.
I was going to say, Tip, the letters to your name there need to be green.
Don't say that stuff while I'm drinking, man. Anyway. And of course, on our most familiar note, Jerry Jones expressed doubt whether Michael Parsons would play in Week 1 versus the Eagles. Well, Jerry, probably he wouldn't because you keep effing around. You should have been signed him way. I don't know what the hell his problem is. I don't. I can't. I can't blame Micah for nothing now. It's Jerry Jones all the way here. I'm sorry. Stop doing that. Get him signed. I don't know why you're playing this pussyfoot game. I don't understand what's going on with this.
If you're Micah at this point, do you even want to? Do you want to I would actually be more interested in just playing out my contract and being done. Be like, hey, you know what? I'm good.
You know,
well, I mean, he hasn't talked to since he put out that tweet about him wanting to be traded. He hasn't talked to Jerry Jones since then.
Yeah. Well, and Jerry just keeps adding fuel to the fire is the problem. So, at some point, you're just like, yeah, you know what? It's cool. My checks are clearing. I'll come play this year. And outside of that, I'm good.
That's right. Let the chips fall where they fall, and I'll see you somewhere else down the road. And
now he'll probably just franchise him. But
well, yes, there is that. But listen, Dallas needs a real freaking organizational structure, like everybody else who's successful in the NFL, and not Jerry Jones dealing directly with players. It shouldn't happen that way. And I think it's proven now that this is not a successful way to run an organization. And I know Steven has stepped in and does more stuff, but I don't see his name in any of these stories. It's always Jerry. So
well, you don't see his face on the screen most of the time. All you see is Jerry's face.
Right, Steven, lock your dad in a freaking his room or something, and
it's just old.
He said similar dumb stuff though. So like he's going down the same road his dad's on. So if you're a Cowboys fan, buckle up.
Yeah, there's no hope in sight until they sell this team. That's for sure.
Speaking of Mike Tipton, he did bring up a pretty good point about how Dallas is structured. And to Keith's point, they started the salary cap in '96, I think it was, to prevent Mr. Jones from doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Worked pretty well.
So, obviously for 30 years, they can't do nothing. They can't even get out their own way. So, I mean, obviously it worked for the purpose that it was set to work for. And I guess it was to keep Dallas down. I don't know.
That is a key element there is they can't get out of their own way because they've had rosters they could have won with.
Oh, heck yeah.
Like they've had some good teams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tip's not going to hear this. I'm going to beat that dead horse again.
Who says he
Tony
can't?
Romo?
It's
Tony
good 'cause
Romo.
he can hear us.
Tony Romo, Tip.
or the fact that Dak, as much as we joke about Dak, I mean, the dude had 2 seasons where he had the number 1 offense in the league,
and they were 12-5 4 years in a row.
Yeah,
and couldn't do anything in the playoff.
They don't show up come playoff. That's their biggest problem, right? They've had good teams. I mean, their head coach got fired after winning 12 games until this past year. He went 12-4, 3 years in a row, right?
Yeah, 3 years.
Well, they prefer to be on a couch instead of the field.
Well, apparently.
About time, yeah.
I mean, Cabo is nice that time of year. So
yeah, there is that.
Hey, and is everybody catching the coaches mixing it up with the players during training camp?
Let's go, Mike Vrabel. Give some of that. What other head coach jumps in the middle of the pile?
Yeah, that was one of them. Yeah, and they got bloodied because of it.
Yeah,
breaking up
former linebacker, man.
The only other guy that would do it would be Dan Campbell. Campbell and Vrabel are the only two that are like, you know what? Let me throw some pads on real quick.
Right. Well, unless you're Pete Carroll, because he likes to wrestle with his offensive lineman.
That's true.
73-year-old and wrestling with his offensive lineman.
Hey, I'm not mad at it.
I love Pete Carroll. I might be. I don't know about you, Bo, having as your coach, but I love Pete Carroll, and I'm glad he's back in the game. I really do.
You can't beat his energy. Like that dude loves football, and loves coaching. So I mean. I got to meet him a few times. Like, super nice guy. Even if he's not on your team, you root for him a little bit. I'm not going to root for him, tomorrow. But
you can root for him less. Bob Kraft still says his biggest regret all the time he's on the Patriots was firing Pete Carroll because he loved the guy. But he had to do it at the time. But he's just one guy.
Bob, don't bring that up. Hindsight 2020.
He's been talking about that for 20 years. Come on.
You got 6 championships without that guy.
Yeah, but part of that, by the way, I think is a shot at Bill Belichick. By the way,
it definitely is.
Oh,
but and Pete Carroll was something for the Seattle Seahawks because last year the Lions played Seattle. And I'm sorry, Bo, but we had confrontations with the Seattle Seahawks fans. I'm like, oh, he beat you 4 games in a row. I said, but you don't got Pete Carroll.
Yep.
So you're going to lose this game.
I mean,
And lo and behold, they lost. So I said, Pete Carroll. Sometimes coaches are just everything to their team too. That's like if you took Dan Campbell from the Lions, dude, we'd be back in the Stone Age again. But yeah, it's coaches are everything to their teams. Good coaches. Let me mention that. Good coaches. Some of them are skinning by their teeth there, like Stefanski, which I can't understand why he hasn't been fired yet. But whatever.
Is that on Stefanski, or is that on your GM and owner creating the most chaotic situation possible?
I tend to agree with Bo here. Stefanski, I think, is a pretty good coach in a horrible, horrible situation, and he probably is just waiting. Please fire me, please.
Exactly.
Take me out.
For that one.
Yeah, because there's no other team that will look at that and be like, oh, this was Stefanski's problem. They're going to look at that and be like, yeah, we'll give him another shot because, well, it's the Browns.
It's the Browns.
Also,
the Browns
Rasheed
that
Morris.
that bowl that before preceded by a flush.
Well, did he not have this team like a fumble away from going to the AFC Championship game just 3 years ago?
Baker Mayfield. They had Baker Mayfield though.
That was again. They walked away from Baker Mayfield after they were a fumble away from being in the AFC Championship game, and who knows what happens after that?
Oh, man, Browns have always been just
That's
done in by fumble, huh? We're talking about
it's always a fumble.
The running back in the 80s. What was his name? Ernest Byner. Yeah. Oh my God.
Either that or John Elway.
Or John Elway taking 90 yards, right?
That situation really fell on
two
Baker,
drives
though.
against him.
That situation fell on Baker, and I only say that because the league is what have you shown me lately all the time, right? And he went out there and played injured because he wanted to be that guy for his team. And I don't fault him for that. But the problem is he put out 8-9 weeks of just horrible film because he wasn't right and he wasn't getting protected. It was bad looking football.
Right.
Just happened to do it in a year that he was going to have to get signed. It's not a good way to go. So it's unfortunate, but yeah, some of that definitely falls on Baker. He would have been better off to just shut it down and be like, hey, I'm hurt.
I think that same thing applied to Kirk Cousins last year too. I think that when he got hit in that shoulder and knew he couldn't throw past 10 yards, dude, take yourself out of the game. I know you were afraid that it's going to get taken over by Penix, but that was the whole plan in the first place by Atlanta anyway. Exactly. But to sit there and play 3 extra games and then tell your coach, hey, I'm not playing really good. No crap, Sherlock. I mean, the coach can see it on the. So it just coincided with him getting taken out and putting Penix in. Just coincided with the fact that, hey, you might have told me that, but I was going to take you out anyway because you suck. So I don't even know why you're playing out there. I hate that when quarterbacks do that. You got to be humble sometimes for the good of your team.
Was he that bad before he got hurt, though? I mean, I don't think he played that bad of football before he got hurt.
No, he very good. The injury really is what hurt him. So I would say, because, I mean, remember, he threw for 500 yards against Tampa Bay in the overtime win. So, I mean, So
he set the single game record in passing for the Falcons in one of the games. So, I mean, he wasn't playing bad until he got his shoulder shook up.
The thing is all of these guys think they're going to come in and do what Stafford did with like a dislocated arm and then still throw a great pass. And I mean, that's the outlier, but every one of those guys is like, I can go do that.
Only problem
Stafford was pretty young at the time he did that too.
And he didn't have a top 10 pick waiting in the wings to come take over. Yeah.
Right. He was the guy.
Exactly.
Rasheed Morris went up against Drake London, and Drake London kind of just get out of my way. He was taking him out. Rasheed, you're not the corner. No, dude. Nope. It ain't happening, bro. I don't know why you're going out there trying to check Drake London. And Drake London's like, oh, yeah, I got the coach in front of me. I'm knocking his ass over. Free game.
So I got another one for you guys that let me know what you think on this, because this put me
Back.
this
Paul with
gave
all
me
the
a
good
weird I didn't love this take from Tyreek. Now, he says a lot of dumb stuff all the time, so take it for what it is. But play the clip, and then I'll tell you why I don't like it. Because some people are like, "Oh, it's great."
Take the ball out on third down.
Oh, yeah,
What?
Yeah.
You want him? That's my honest opinion. If it's third and short, he's not a power back. I be telling him that in the locker room, but he a power back. I love Devon though, but if I'm being honest, like that's why you got Jalen Wright. That's why you got Ollie Gordon for those kind of situations.
So, and why I don't like this, right, is you're throwing a teammate under the bus here, because if you were keeping it real in the locker room, right, behind closed doors, cool. You can absolutely do that. This would be like if you had a corporate job and you decided to get all of your clients on a phone call and be like, hey, you know what? We'd be giving you better service if Jim over here could do his job sometimes, right? Like, you can't do that. Like, he may be right. Like, he may be telling you the truth, but he can't say that on a national stage on a press conference. You just can't do that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly with that. You
I'm
don't
going to
throw
be
a teammate
100% with my teammates.
And the teammate responded. He did respond in a tweet or something like that with I think the crying emoji. He's like, oh man. I mean, they're like he said they're friends, but maybe he thought he was playing or something like that, or with him, and being lighthearted. But yes, either way, you just don't do that in front of the media. You go talk to your coaches if you feel like this is something that would be better, that you can. It's a way to handle that, like you said, within closed doors. I wouldn't do that to a teammate at all.
Even in jest, right? Like that's a rough way to like bury your teammate.
Right. I agree.
The easy response to that is line him up at tailback and tell him to, hey, you get that yard, buddy. See how easy it is. That's the only thing I can say. Consequences come with what you say sometimes. So it's a lot of these a lot of these players are starting to do that too. That's another thing I'm not liking. A lot of team play. A lot of these players on these teams are throwing people under the bus. Their teammates under the bus, and it's like, dude, when does it start becoming a trend?
Yeah,
it's not a good trend either.
No.
They're not just throwing them under the bus; they're backing up and rolling over them again.
and then going in forward and doing it over again. Yeah,
they definitely lean into the there's no I in team, but there's definitely a me. Like,
yeah, it's idiotic. Any other sports that you guys, anything that you guys found over the week that was worthy? Besides
WNBA, less rubber involved, but it there is an offer on the table for the Connecticut Sun. The Connecticut Sun are the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
And it is by the minority owners of the Boston Celtics to bring them to Boston as the worst team in the league, a 5-win team. Right, they are 5-23, I believe, 5-24, something like that. $325 million is what that's valued at for the Connecticut Sun, and the offer is in and standing, waiting for the WNBA approval. If it does get approved, they would be likely to play as early as 27 in Boston. They are giving Connecticut a chance to try and keep their team, though.
That's interesting.
Might be a better move to Boston.
I think so,
no
too.
Question.
Yeah. So Connecticut don't come up with the money. Just let them go.
Yeah, well, it sounds like there's another ownership group that's in Connecticut that has interest in it. So I think they're going to allow them to put an offer in. But if you were looking at, big picture market, kind of big market type stuff, Boston makes way more sense. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not one to look for teams to move. I'm still mad about my Sonics. So
Right. Well, hey,
It's been a
I
while,
know.
It's been a
I know
minute.
the UFL. I know the UFL don't mean much to anybody in here, but I supported the Michigan Panthers, and now they're
We
not.
lost
gonna
that team
be in
too.
the UFL. Say, dude, you go to Boise? What? Who's
That
watching
one-
in Boise?
Is anybody watching anywhere though? I had a guy want to come on one of my shows telling me that they're filling the stadiums in the UFL. Is that even?
No.
Yeah, that's
maybe
not a
in
real
maybe
thing,
in
right.
Michigan, maybe in Ford Field they may do it. In fact, they went up like 43% in the fans attendance at Ford Field, but they're one of the few teams that went up in attendance last year in the UFL.
So when we lost our XFL team, that one was very weird. The leagues merge, we lose the Sea Dragons. We were averaging almost 20,000 fans a game, and they were a playoff team. So we were really surprised when they're like, oh yeah, we're going to get rid of teams. We're like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, not ours, because that doesn't make any sense. You're filling a stadium, you're selling merch. That's the team? Really? Okay. Yeah. So then they're like, oh yeah, we're going to move some teams. And then they're like, oh, Boise. I'm like, wait, what? I mean, don't get me wrong. There's not a lot going on in Boise. So if you are if you like college football, you're probably going to support your UFL team.
I think so, because Boise State is diehard football there. I mean, they love their team.
Are they going to support a professional team though, the way that they support their college football?
Yeah, but you only need 20,000 people.
I don't know if they will.
It's not like you need the whole city to get in, right? You need 20,000 people.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's a good point.
And maybe they should change their color to blue and orange.
They should blend right in with the field. That way it'd be harder to tackle them.
Yes, exactly.
The new logo is a Smurf.
Yeah, I'm not really pleased about that whole situation. This is why the UFL, any of the USFL, the UFL, the XFL, that's why they haven't survived over the course of these years, because they keep switching stuff around. Keep stuff the same. Keep the USFL like they had it before. You can still call it the UFL, but
the original USFL was getting some traction, and then they wanted to go to the fall and go head to head with the NFL, and instead of staying in the spring where they had their little niche, and they could have been. I think again, they had too many. They expanded too fast. They did all the things you do wrong, but they started to learn from those lessons. And some of those franchises were getting strong, but one guy wanted to barge his way into the NFL by forcing a merger and destroyed the whole league. So
we know who that guy is.
The thing that's disappointing, I guess, about the way that they've handled this, right? They went from a well-balanced league to shrinking it down to a regional play. And then now they're trying to move teams yet again. It seems weirdly mishandled for an organization that's co-owned by The Rock, who is a marketing master, right?
Great point.
And also co-owned by Fox. So you already have a sports division pushing your product, and you guys can't figure out how to run this thing. It is the weirdest just misuse of talent I can think of.
Money, talent, yeah.
Tom
Brady wanted to put it into that too. He wanted to put it into the UFL. So maybe he would be the one that had to change it. I don't know.
I don't know, guys. We're talking about The Rock. He's kind of flaming out, man. If you saw Black Adam, whew.
I mean, all things being equal, he's only really good at promoting himself, not really promoting stuff. So, maybe that's some of the problem. But when you're backed by Fox, I mean, I feel like your TV stuff's already figured out. The money obviously isn't an issue. How are you mishandling this so bad?
Well, he needs to leverage some of those Oscars he's won, I think, into more power in these leagues.
Has he won Oscars?
That was sarcasm at 101.
Isn't the WWE president the one of the
Keith,
owners of the
you
league
caught
too?
me there.
I saw James' face going, what? Oscars. What?
When did that happen?
When did that happen?
Oscar Mayer? Yes, Oscar
Yeah.
Mayer.
Yes. Green Oscar Myers.
Damn. And we go right back to the segment. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. Doesn't Dana, what's her name? The WWE, doesn't she own part of it too? Dana, whatever her name is. Dana, what the hell is her name? Dana
I
something.
have no idea.
Yeah, her and The Rock developed the UFL. They brought the XFL and the USFL together. And yeah, Dana, what the hell is her name? I'm trying to remember the.
I wouldn't have known her from wrestling because
Wrestling,
I
yeah.
really don't watch wrestling.
I gave it up.
I didn't either, but she's part of that group, so that's how I learned that she was the president of this. But yeah, so no more UFL. What about arena football? You got arena football over there in Seattle?
Yeah. We have the Washington Wolfpack. Man, they had a rough season, but there's a team over by Keith there that was pretty good though.
Albany back to the Firebirds, the original name of the arena team that won a championship 30 years ago. They've had different incarnations. They've come, they've gone, and as the leagues have gotten stronger and folded, but they packed this. I mean, the Knickerbocker, whatever we call it now, the MVP arena, I guess, it holds 14,000 people. They get 12,000 people in that building for a football game, and
wow.
They've won as a Firebirds now. They won this last year. They won before Antonio Brown bought them 2 years ago, by the way, and absolutely destroyed the organization. Didn't pay anybody.
No.
That's when they were known by the Empire. They were called the Empire then. And his father is a legend here in
legend.
He played for the Firebirds back in their original incarnation and was a legend here. He still lives here in the area. And he's got to be really proud of what his son did to
Yes.
Of course. You got to be proud of that.
You're right. His father was a dominant player. He played wide receiver, too.
He did. Great player. In the arena football, I'm not sure why he never got a chance in the NFL, but he was a great player in the NFL. I know that.
That's another football that I don't watch anymore because they took all the Detroit teams out of there. They had the Detroit Fury, the Grand Rapids Rampage, and then the Detroit Drive before that, who started the Arena Football League by winning, 4 to 6 championships.
Yeah. We'll go to.
I really thought arena football was defunct totally. I didn't realize.
Oh, it has been numerous times.
It's gone a couple times. Yeah. Come and gone a couple times.
It's like the UFL, USFL, XFL. It's kind of like that.
Yeah,
they move all over the place too.
The AFL made a 1-year comeback, and then the guy that owned the rights to it really started making it harder for anything to happen. So then everybody basically said, "Fine, you can keep the name," and now it's called AF1. But there's still the other arena leagues that have been around for a while, the IFL and the NAL. Those are still around. But yeah, the AFL made a 1-year comeback before basically forcing it to lose that name again. But so now it continues on as the AF1, which is the league that the Firebirds just won.
Ron Jaworski, and I don't remember which version of the AFL it was, Bo, but he was like instrumental in trying to keep this thing going. He owned like half the league because he was trying to keep this thing floating. In fact, I think he owned it was the Empire at the time here in Albany. He owned part of that, trying to keep it going at one point before Antonio Brown came in here. So,
yeah, I think that was when it went bankrupt in 19.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, before COVID, I think it was. Yeah.
Didn't Ron pass?
No.
He's still around?
Yeah, it's.
No, I'm thinking of someone else. Sorry.
We call this the Nelson Mandela effect, right? We think somebody's gone, they're not really gone.
Yes.
That happened to
bring that back, Keith.
I thought Ozzy Osbourne had died like 10 years ago, quite frankly. When he died. I had the Mandela effect.
See, where it's going to be the opposite is when Keith Richards finally dies. Everybody's going to think he's still alive.
Could happen. On that note, we will bid you guys and everybody out there. Thanks for joining us. And we will be back next week, Wednesday, at the same time, same bat channel. Everybody have a good rest of your week. We will see you tomorrow on the No BS show.
Have a good night. Gotta run, guys. Bye-bye.